Hello friends, family and other creatures of the sea, and welcome to what many people are calling the game of the year. It's between ShoWTimE and Gumiho, with Gumiho spawning in our bottom left. The build order king, the man that has more builds than fingers. That actually isn't very impressive. I think most players have more builds than fingers. He has more builds than fingers and toes combined, and that is for every single matchup. Now that's a lot of builds. That is 20 builds per matchup, at least assuming that he has all of his toes and fingers still available to him, which I do think he has. Never complained about that. I remember reading once that if you miss a toe, I think it might be the small, is it called a pinky toe as well? The pinky toe, if you lose that one, it's really difficult to balance. I bet if you lose the fat toe, the thumb toe, the largest one, if you lose that one, I think it's also going to be hard to balance. If you lose all 5, maybe it's easier because it's not imbalanced anymore. I don't know about the theory of toes. But either way, lots of builds. That's what I was going to write. Gumiho, lots of different types of build orders. He's a man that can really switch it up. Could even play mech. Has played mech in the past. Will play mech again in the future. Does he win with it? No. But he plays it, and that's also exciting. Sometimes it's not about winning, but it's about having a good time, especially if you're in the grand finals of a tournament and you're not really planning on winning. That's always been my mindset as well. Actually, I've never lost the grand finals of a tournament. I've also only been in 2 grand finals of tournaments, but my win rate when I get to finals is 100%. That is not the brag, but it's a fact that I wanted to share with the world. What the hell is ShoWTimE doing here? Double Stalker opener, look at that. Oh, beast over here. This is something that Stats had been doing during Intel Extreme Masters Katowice earlier this year. I'm not a huge fan of it. I don't super mind it. It's... Okay, so wait. Ooh, hold that thought actually. Let's first take a look. Figure out what ShoWTimE's plans are here. Defensively to this. Okay, setting up properly. No problems here whatsoever. Right, so what I was going for here is that the reason why this is quite powerful is because adepts are really weak defensively and also they aggressively, honestly. The one point of the adept is that you get the shade across the map and perhaps delay your opponent's command center. However, when Terrans play a double gas opener, very often you can't even really shade that adept across the map freely because there's going to be a Reaper, there's going to be perhaps a second Reaper, maybe a 2 Reaper and a Hellion. You go across the map with the adept, you lose it for free. It sucks because it's going to be difficult to defend. Or if a Cyclone pops out quickly, you can't really do anything either. So I kind of like this, honestly. If you're playing Blink, why not skip the adept is what ShoWTimE is seemingly saying here. Now, obviously, this is not great if you're playing against a 1 base all-in and you get absolutely 0 info on whether your opponent has a base or not. But in the case of a Terran player going for a natural, going for a second base, this is phenomenal stuff. As Stalkers weren't quite in position. Blink is done. That means that this medevac is actually gonna fall. Stalker doesn't quite die. Gonna get an unburrow and a reburrow as well. So that's a little bit more mining time that our good friend ShoWTimE is going to end up losing. But only losing 2 workers while simultaneously killing a medevac and 2 mines. Like, that is a dream come true. And the good type of dream. You know, not a nightmare. It's a positive dream. How do I love positive dreams? Yeah, what's this? A Robo Bay? As well as a forge here. Okay. Do I dig that? Yeah, I actually do. I like this follow-up. He's getting an Immortal as well. There's really some serious Chrono Boost on that bad boy too. So Liberator is kind of hiding in the darkness. Second Ops moving across the map. Maybe ShoWTimE is afraid of something? I mean, he really shouldn't be, because his opponent is just kind of hanging around with tanks, not doing very much at the moment. I mean, the Immortal is still going to be useful later on. It's not necessary in the moment. Colossus gonna pop out here behind this. So we see more workers, actually no workers in production right now for ShoWTimE. He's cutting a little bit. I wonder if that's on purpose. Yeah, most definitely. He's adding some gateways into the mix here. It's gonna go up to 5, maybe up to 6. I like 5 as a number. I think it's a good number of gateways in this type of game. Do we have a Raven out? No. Right, because he opted for that Liberator. This is a rough opener here for Gumiho. It really is. This Colossus is going to be out. These Marines are not going to have stim. Yes, it's a lot of factory units. And we still have kind of the 1-2 punch here with the Liberator. Batteries aren't done yet either, but perhaps you can do something here with just Stalkers. Observers kind of hanging out together. Need to be careful. Single scan could take out 150 gas at an instant. Liberator moves in. ShoWTimE with swift responses here. Gets the warp in, splits off 2 Stalkers as well. It's not going to be taking any damage. Please, Gumiho. I think this is something that Terrans do very frequently, specifically with Liberators, is that they don't have the patience to just kind of let it idle in dead space. But that would be much more effective than sending it in and killing nothing. I mean, unless you really believe your opponent has significant brain damage, this move is never going to work out. Let me tell you. ShoWTimE's skull is powerful, friend. Nothing gets through there. Every CT scan shows perfect, neurological pathways in his head. There's a reason they call him the Wall. Nothing can touch him. Second Colossus is now out. Thermal Lens starting late. What is that? 20 out of 100 seconds. You know what's an easy way to embarrass pro gamers? Is by asking them the times that upgrades take or the times that units take to make. Because they really should know this, including myself, but really I have no clue. Like, legitimately no clue. You know, it's not a good look. I know some of them. And you know whether it's a unit that takes a long time. I want to say that Colossus takes 56 seconds. Or 62? I think it's a weird number. Tank setup still looking solid. You know, that's the one thing that I always respect Gumiho for. I think he's one of the guys that actually goes into a map and just really thinks about tank positions, you know? Like, everyone kind of has the standard spots, you know? They'll put, tank over here when they're attacking, or over here. You know, actually, let's do it properly. Like, imagine you attack the pros with like a tank over here, tank over here. Like, these spots are standard. But Gumiho, you know, in the late game, he has like spots for his first 6-7 tanks in every matchup, which I think is really cool. And it makes sense because there's obviously a best spot. So even if you're wrong, it's still good to think about it and to kind of follow what you believe in. Of course, you can change depending on your opponent's composition, but yeah, I love this type of stuff. And this is a position we actually don't see that often out of Terran players. 3 tanks right next to one another. Not really covering the left side either, but Gumiho feels comfortable with this, and I'm going to trust his judgment because he is much better at building tanks than I am. Vikings now popping out. Country number 3 and 4. The 4th base is about to finish up as well. It's a pretty campy game so far. The first 9 minutes, not too much action. We saw some minor harassment out of both players, but resources lost just being 725 to 350. Pretty much tells the tale when it comes to the action so far in the early stages of this game. Prophetic Drive is about to finish up. That means that the Zealot Prism could potentially go in. Not sure if Cyclone plus Turret are enough. I want to say yes, but I'm not 100% secure. Especially if this Prism goes towards the bottom side. I don't think that's quite in range of the Cyclone. It absolutely isn't. Gumiho's going to be quick there. Use his F2. All army hotkey. Vikings are probably going to clear that. No, they're not. Turret, however, should. One turret not quite done yet. But this bad boy, 3 shots and boom. Bang, bang, you're dead. 3 tanks still in the back here. Could help out. We have a lot of disruptors in the mix. You know what would be a cool angle of attack right now? This sounds stupid, but just because it sounds stupid doesn't mean it is. It's just taking out these rocks, or taking out these rocks, and then mining these mineral patches. It only takes 3 probes to open up this path, which would be honestly very valuable to have another attack path open. Because on this map you only have 2 paths usually. I'm expecting tanks to move on forward, maybe one over here, maybe some over here. Or, you know, it's really difficult to attack on this map. So we have another Prism now coming out. ShoWTimE is kind of realizing, yep, this is indeed a very difficult map to attack on. I want Prisms in my composition, and he's going to get some Prisms in his composition. He's adding more gateways as well. We're going up to 14, 7 more gateways. He's practically doubling his gate count, going up to 15. That is a wild move, isn't it? He's adding 11 gates. I think this is the highest amount of gates I've ever seen. ShoWTimE, when we were at Home Story Cup, he actually was telling me about this. He said, you know, once a Protoss is maxed, I believe that all their money should be spent just on gateways, so that you have quick reinforcements. It makes it much easier to win fights as well. I was thinking to myself, that's a lot of cash in gateways, my friend. That is a lot of caching gateways. Maybe I'd prefer cannons, you know? Especially given the fact that he doesn't have, you know, that many workers. It's not like he's swimming in the cache. He's just gonna go straight up to, what is this? 25, 24? It's gonna go up to 20, yeah, 23, 24 gates. That's a lot of gateways. At the same time, we have a double drop heading towards the top side here. 6th base most likely is gonna get cancelled as a result. Gumiho, however, is only still on 5, is now getting his own ship weapon upgrades. Yes, 25 gates, right? No, 26. Good lord. It's a lot of gates. We'll lose the prism though. That's frustrating. Observer speed now on the way as well. So many minerals here in the bank. So many minerals in the bank. 5th base here on the right side. 6th base being rebuilt. I mean, expanding fast is cool, but without having the appropriate worker count, it's still going to be rough to get traits that you want. This is all being done, by the way, of an extremely low gas income. I'd love to see this rich Vespene geyser being mined, because really it's just better rather than mining these. It's further out on the map, and it's much more efficient, which means you can actually mine more minerals as well. Or just more gas with the same amount of workers. You get to make that decision yourself. You just pull 3 workers out of gas. 3 workers out of gas here. With the same amount of income. Ooh. Attacking for Gumiho is pretty scary, because the moment he goes in, there's going to be this crazy reinforcement ability as well. Gumiho is actually not aware of this, and there's 26 gates. Like currently, the army consists of 24 zealots and 14 stalkers, 3 sentries as the gate units. More than half of that can be instantly rebuilt if the cache is available, which is mental. Having a prism here would help so much as well for those in-fight reinforcements. Disruptors are moving in forward. Tanks are still far in the back. There's one right next to this planetary. ShoWTimE now trying to move in. He's gonna take out the sensor tower if he wants to. Doesn't target it with the disruptors as the drop hits the main base. There's not enough open supply to warp in a lot of crap, but I still believe this is going to be fine. So we have a bunch of stalkers here. Just gonna send them in and he can warp instantly. And infinite warp gates, of course. So that's going to be just fine. Disruptors here do get scanned. Gumiho is on an army that consists of Marauders, Ghost, and Marines. Couple of tanks, bunch of Vikings. And just now the first Liberators are coming in. We don't have the advanced ballistics yet. Actually, we have Caduceus Reactor, the upgrade for medevac energy as the first one here, which is pretty cool. There's only 2 medevacs? Surely that's bait. That's a mistake. Look at his stim, how much it's hurting him. EMPs are now trying to connect. Vikings coming in from the side. I mean, every single stim is going to hurt so much. He only has 2 medevacs. What a huge blunder here coming out of Gumiho. Way too low on the medevac count. Look at all these stims. They're packing a punch here. These units are damaging themselves severely. More medevacs need to be constructed. Caduceus doesn't make them heal faster, just gives them higher rate of energy regeneration. Which is great, but that means that every stim is still going to damage your army. Look at this. We have freaking orange Marauders here. We have orange Marines. Now we have 2 more medevacs showing up. Or maybe 1 more medevac only. It's 3 total still. Lib range about to finish up as this army is getting split off. 10 SCVs have gone down. I guess that happened over here. During the posturing on the left side as well. We have a bit of a rotation coming in. Both of these sensor towers are extremely vulnerable. And this is something that ShoWTimE potentially could target. As he continues expanding. Right now we're on 1, 2, 7. Is that 7? I think it's going to be base number 7. As he finds a spot where he can perhaps attack from the low ground. Would love to see these rocks being taken out. Would love to see these minerals mined. I think the more open it is, the better it's going to be for ShoWTimE with this much more mobile army. Sensor tower now being shut down. Colossus range definitely helping out there. 15 minutes into the game and we've been kind of walking around waiting for the fight for the past 3. Neither player wanting to engage in the other. The medevac count finally has grown to a very reasonable 9. Actually a good number. Liberator count is at 4. All of them pretty much here on the right side. And tanks defending the middle and the left. While we have more and more command centers coming in. We have 6 libs as well being produced. Big blink forward. Planetary perhaps in some trouble. Is the repair going to be good enough? No, repair is not going to be good enough. Vikings do take a pretty decent trade. Resources lost. Slightly in favor here of Gumiho. We'll need to fly a new planetary over and Liberators need to siege up. can't attack into +2 Liberators if there's any amount of ghosts nearby. And with the tanks for backup as well, these Stalkers can simply just not nick them. This is a crazy move. This is not the right maneuver. I cannot believe this is happening. Take a quick look here at the resources lost. As ShoWTimE, he is bleeding units there. That was an absolutely horrendous fight coming out of him. He does not have well, actually, he has pretty crazy income. But I'm not sure if his income is crazy enough. If the amount of bases that he can take on this map is going to be crazy enough. Because we should take a look at the bases that are being taken right now. ShoWTimE is taking kind of these two neutral bases, these middle bases. If ShoWTimE manages to mine from both of these, then he can afford to take trades that are bad. I'm not sure if he can take trades that were that bad. I think he killed 2 Marines and lost like 60 supply. But he can take bad trades. The question is Gumiho going to allow this base to get up? And to me, the answer feels like a fat no. ShoWTimE's going to commit again into this position as Liberators once again siege up. Once more, just a horrendous fight out of ShoWTimE. He's gonna get the planetary, but this wasn't good by any stretch of the imagination. Gumiho's gonna try to move forward a little bit further. Look at this fight. Resources lost is telling the tale of these fights. 14k to 22k. This was another -2, -3k here for ShoWTimE. That's just not good. That is absolutely not what you want. Now, we still have these gateways, so the fast reinforcements are still here. We see 9 zealots, no sorry, 16 zealots, 9 stalkers being built at once. The gateway count is 26. However, this base is toast. Left side base is going to be toast. Bank has pretty much been emptied. Hey, ShoWTimE is practically bankrupt at this point. We are going to perhaps get a bit of a counterattack because, well, Gumiho is very far out. There is an entrance here into this space. Do we have a Dark Shrine? I'd love to see a Dark Shrine. There's more and more workers now going down on both sides. Both of these orbitals perhaps in a little bit of trouble. 10 more SCVs will end up falling. We have a couple of fat warp-ins over here. Where's the Disruptors? Where are they? Well, they're all with the main army. I think we saw one Disruptor at home. As Gumiho decides to go back, I think he probably could have killed both of these orbitals. ShoWTimE is going to say, you know what? You can keep him alive for now, but I might come back for him later. It's 33 workers to 67. Orbital count is only at 4. That means that mules... Oh my god, I just lost that orbital. Orbital is only going to be 3 now. It means that mules are not going to be too plentiful. And Gumiho can't really go for a base trade, because if he goes for a base trade, he's going to lose 1 base. ShoWTimE might lose 1 base. But that's a good trade for ShoWTimE, because there's only... Well, really only 2 mining bases here, potentially for Gumiho. While ShoWTimE has 1, 2, 3... Yeah, there's so much. There's potentially 4 next side that can be mining, actually. ShoWTimE opts for another mediocre fight here in the middle of the map. Something that I would love to see, by the way, is ShoWTimE taking a bad fight and then counter-attacking with a Prism in the main base. So really going for that production. I think that would be really cool. It's not something that we've seen quite yet, though, out of him. Prism seemed to kind of be a forgotten unit so far in this game. After the initial 2 that we saw fly in, or the initial 3, we haven't really seen any anymore. Disruptor count still is somewhat healthy. ShoWTimE is going to try to defend the left side as well as perhaps counterattack here, or what's the plan? I mean, if he gets to take out a base and just loses one himself, it's going to be a pretty decent deal. It's going to be a deal that he should be very happy about. Gumiho, however, already moving in position to try and fight this force being forward here. Tanks need to be targeted down. This is all zealots, though. As I'm not even sure if that planetary is going to end up falling. This was once again a freaking terrible trade for ShoWTimE. He's going to be losing a lot of zealots, a lot of his units. Does take out a base. And that has been the plan so far. One of the issues I have with it is that you have these backup command centers. So if you're not actually killing SCVs, it's not doing a whole lot when it comes to handicapping your opponent's income. You get a big scan over here towards the bottom right. Saw a Prism flying in as well. But the cache isn't here anymore for the Prism to be active. The cache isn't here anymore. We're currently only at 300 minerals. ShoWTimE does not have a big army. It's 151 army supply to 78. That is not great. That is really not great. Income, of course, massively in his favor. We can all agree on that. I still believe that a Dark Shrine here would be hugely beneficial for our German Protoss player. So far not building it. Just the ability to send like a single DT and be annoying. Something we see max specs do so often. But honestly, phenomenal success. Great success. Can't attack that. It's also not really attacking any of the workers though. So I don't think ShoWTimE's gonna lose any sleep over that. It's creating a new army that he hopes can fight off the evil forces of Terran. As Liberators are now gonna leapfrog forward here into this base. At the same time, we have an attack heading in towards, well, the production side of ShoWTimE. And this is an issue, because this is an important mining base. We're gonna have 2 bases remaining right now. ShoWTimE is actually gonna send it. If you can clear all of these orbital commands, once again, DTs could be a game changer. There's only 2 orbital commands remaining right now. This one is fairly vulnerable as well. Feels like Gumiho is trying to move onto the production of his opponent. And if he gets there, that could be an issue. Meanwhile, these Liberators... Wait, where did the others go? Did they die? Oh, they went back to the main base to hold the main, which is a good call. Gumiho now can just enter his opponent's main, take out all the production, and then play 1 base versus, I guess 3 base, but no production versus production. And that should technically feel good here for Gumiho, or at least it's the best situation. Instead, he's gonna just go back home. These Disruptors are solo. They don't have any backup. They don't have the Gateway Army support. And I think Gumiho might be doing ShoWTimE a favor over here. You know, Disruptors could still zone this army. ShoWTimE does not want to fight. He's significantly outmining his opponent. It's 1 worker to 58. Now ShoWTimE is a little bit supply block. He's gonna go in here with his army. At the same time, we have the flanking Disruptors, but this army should be together. ShoWTimE is coming in from just a single direction. Liberators now starting to siege up as Disruptors not quite gonna get the hits that he wants. This is such a weird game. I think Gumiho is actually winning the fight. He still has a lot of Liberators as well that he can start using. They're all set up in the main base right now. This base is now officially toast. And that was a couple of workers as well. There's only really 1.5 mining bases. Well, one and 3/4 mining bases. Versus a single SCV. That's going to be it. ShoWTimE can still build new units. Gumiho cannot. ShoWTimE's army supply is very similar to Gumiho's as well, which is already a good sign. These probes perhaps could build a nexus top left or just start long distance mining from over here. Could be useful. Really curious to see what units he's going to add in. I think a Colossus might be somewhat valuable. We have 22 Marines out. Feels weird to build a Colossus this late, but with the range you could actually potentially do something, which would be great, of course. Liberators now moving to the left. Gumiho's going for a scout, which is a cool move. We have a lot of Liberators sieging up on this base. ShoWTimE is up. A lot of supply. ShoWTimE is up. A lot of other stuff. Once again, I think a Dark Shrine here would be phenomenal for ShoWTimE. It's gonna blink in forward. Really wants to take out everything. It's gonna hit some big... No! The Purification Nova didn't hit. This Disruptor actually shoots his own Zealots. That was a huge potential Purification Nova. That was so close. Holy crap. Or well, potentially a huge Purification Nova, as it didn't quite end up connecting. ShoWTimE once again is just gonna be chasing into this. I am not so sure if this is what you want to be doing, buddy. Disruptor's not in this army. Liberator's still annoying the ever-living crap out of him. Can you deal with this? I mean, really, there's only a single Lib that's actually attacking anything. Gonna fly a little bit through this bad boy. I mean, this Lib is not attacking anything. There's nothing here you can attack, buddy. Ooh. Wait, is that 1 mineral pressure attacking? Don't have a Stargate. Stargate here would be huge to deal with this. Because really, this is where all the power is. How little income we have right now. This is it. This is just it. 55 minerals a minute. Still has quite a bit of cash in the bank, honestly. Probably thinking what to do with it. I'm not so sure either, but it does need to be spent. One Zealot's gonna go down for free. Single Marine now in production. Although it's supply block, so that's not gonna be great. Scan gets used. Don't forget, ShoWTimE is still just mining from this base, and he's also mining from this base. So every second that goes by is technically a good second here for ShoWTimE. He's going to warp in a couple more Zealots. We have no EMPs remaining. There's 1 Ghost, but no EMPs. 2 Zealots go down for free. Blink forward, snipes a Marauder. Once again, Zealots just chasing so far forward. This might just be a mistake. ShoWTimE perhaps a little bit over-eager here to try and win, to try and finish this game. Is base now in trouble? No. It's not in trouble because Gumiho's going to run away. These Liberators not really quite capable of doing what they want to either. 4 more Marauders on the way. The army supply in favor of Gumiho. A lot of that army, though, is in these medevacs, which don't necessarily fight. Yes, it's nice to have them, but 1 Stalker versus 1 Marauder is a good trade here for ShoWTimE. Every second that goes by, a brilliant second here for our German Protoss. Going to be long distance mining here for a little bit. 26 workers to 2. 650 minerals. And 200 gas of mining. Second SCV has hit the field. Still have the ability to mule as well. Could actually help him out. Take an income lead for the first time in 12 minutes. More like 15 minutes actually, but potentially cool. ShoWTimE is moving across the map. I think he believes there is something here, but there isn't. There's no base. This is it, my dear friend, as Observer is going to spot this army. Disruptor's now moving forward, should never get a kill. Stim's gonna get used. We only have 2 shots remaining. Does Gumiho actually want to chase this? That's the real question. And what are we gonna build? Is going to be a Phoenix or a Void Ray? I think a Void Ray is probably the correct call, because these dudes, they have +3 ship weapons, and a Phoenix might actually lose against them in a straight-up engagement. Ooh. That's a lot of money you're losing here. That's a lot of money you're losing here. Gumiho still has the ability to attack into the main base, but might feel cornered once he's in there. And really, ShoWTimE doesn't need that much production anymore. Do we still don't have this Stargate unit, do we? Just keeps warping in more Stalkers. This is a nice short-term solution, but it's not a good long-term one. How is this possible? He has the vision with the Observer. This should not be viable at all. ShoWTimE should not be taking any damage from his opponent. The scan misses. Probes need to pull back. Please pull them back, my dear friend. There we go. This one is toast now, right? Yeah, there we go. And that's the last one that's actually dealing damage. It's going to be 12 workers. No, 11. The Liberator gets one more shot. 11 workers to 2. Liberator is going to set up again. Have we seen any mules? No, we haven't. Still have this mineral patch active. 345 minerals to go. It is now 300 minerals a minute against 140 minerals a minute. Could technically float that orbital command away. Man, that's a lot of gas mining. Do we really need that? Do we really need 6 workers on gas right now? Do we have a Templar Archives? No, we don't. Otherwise, just researching Storm here, or even just feedbacking would be huge. Feedbacking Medivacs, feedbacking Ghost. Oh! That was darn close there. That was darn close. We have a moving forward. Gumiho is so afraid. I'm not sure if he should be. I mean, every second that goes by is obviously a bad second. He's gonna try to chase a couple more of these Zealots. Don't forget that right now, ShoWTimE is only getting 3 Zealots a minute. So every Zealot that he loses is it's pretty freaking bad. Phoenix is dodging the Liberator, or perhaps the Liberator is dodging the Phoenix. Sentries in production. Brilliant call. Both for force field, so you can lock your opponent in, as well as Guardian Shield. An absolute game changer against Marine and Marauder, of course. We have a single Ghost remaining, which is 2 EMPs available. We have what? 3 Disruptors, 2 more Sentries. I think Storm would have been much better. Storm would have actually been the play here. I don't think there's anything that you could have done, because feedback eventually would have taken this out. This could lose in a Disruptor. It's gonna get the safety though. Every second that goes by, still a good second here for ShoWTimE. Still a good second for ShoWTimE, who's currently 5 Sentries. Oh, I'd love to see a Templar Archives here. Oh, Templar Archives would be so freaking sweet, my friends. Just did kill a Medivac there. That brings it down to only 7. Like, the feedbacks on these Medivacs would be huge, because there's no cash to repair. And the feedback on the Ghost, one-shotting it. Just forcing the EMP so that your Sentries are better. Oh, that would be godly. Get a scan here, but there's no Observer nearby. That's minus 225 minerals. Could have been mining with a mule. ShoWTimE now has more workers. Pulled out of gas with 2 workers as well. Has a couple of patches remaining. 6 patches remaining. Here we go. Gumiho smells blood in the water. And he has been smelling blood in the water for a long time. He's a hyperactive shark right now. Oh, minus the Liberator. That is yikesy. That's the one unit he built in like the past 5 minutes. You know, he smashed his piggy bank, and this is what came out. Dies instantly. Ay, 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 ay. Not a good move. Good EMP there. That's minus 1 EMP though. Means there's only going to be 1 remaining. Need a little bit more energy for a second one. Marauder's now moving in forward. Good blinks back. Sentries need to ideally split up to deal with this. EMP is not brilliant. EMP is a lot of things. Definitely not brilliant. Stalker plus Sentry in front. You need to kind of get this army in here. You need to box this army in inside a range of the cannons, inside a range of the super battery, and then Disruptors need to start putting in some work. However, I feel like the Disruptors now are empty. And this could be an issue. Can we get a couple of force fields? That's okay, force fields. Is it good enough? That effects don't go down, and these disruptors are not hitting. But the army supply is 72 to 54. ShoWTimE without a super battery. The last mining bases, the Liberator pushes in forward. Force fields are okay. Do we have a disruptor? Oh my god, no, we don't quite. 56 supply to 45. We get a decent hit, a single Marauder. That's more than majority of these shots have been getting. But at the same time, this disruptor is in trouble. Phoenix shows up as well. Do we have any anti-air remaining? We have a Marine, a Ghost, and a Liberator. That's it. This Phoenix by itself could clear a lot of stuff. ShoWTimE decides it's time to fight right now. Purification Nova is not going to hit anything once more, as there's still a single disruptor remaining with a Purification Nova available. Phoenix not in the fight is a huge blunder because there's no anti-air here. Now it moves in forward. Super Battery gets activated once more, but I think there's just too much. A single Void Ray here could have changed the outcome of the game because there is no anti-air remaining. There is no cash in the bank for Gumiho. Gumiho is broke as a joke. That's it. And it's all Marauders. And ShoWTimE is dead. DTs, Templars, Void Ray, it all could have won him games, but instead it's Gumiho that walks away with the victory here in this this epic banger on Crimson Court. Gumiho with the W. And that, my dear friends, is going to be it for me today. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did not forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. If you're wondering why my voice is a little bit deeper, it's because I'm sick, not because I'm using a a voice filter or anything like that. Although I do like my voice being a bit deeper. I'm just sick right now. So speedy recovery, and I'll sound as high as a kite once more. Thanks all for watching. Bye bye.